Yeah. Good afternoon, fellow countrymen and women. I hope you are all well from wherever you are watching us from. And in fact, we would like to ask you to share with us where you are watching us from, where you are watching this live broadcast from. We'll be grateful to hear from you so that we know the spread of the people that are following the program. So once again, you are very much welcome. The brief is not very too long. I'm just basically going to look at 3 issues, namely the current debate on the demonstration that was held on Sunday, organized by Sistah Sistah Foundation of Zambia, and also generally the homosexuality debate or the LGBTQ debate that we have in Zambia, where we are and the way forward. And secondly, I'd like to also apply myself to the statement that we issued yesterday. Some of you who do follow us on my personal page, you remember that we issued a statement on taking a position on the Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway, 25 years concession, less 3 years of construction of the dual carriageway. Then I'll wrap up the broadcast with a special message to our women, as we know that tomorrow will be Women's Day, and I'll be failing in my duties, especially a man who lives with a woman, not to say something about it. If you have any questions, please feel free to type. If there is any matter that you want me to comment on, I've got my colleague here who can be able to read out a comment or a question, or indeed just if you want my view on anything, but within a very short space of time, as we do not have a lot of time. First, I want to commend the Zambia Police Command for the swift action they have taken regarding the arrest of the ringleaders of the Sistah Sistah Foundation of Zambia. This broadcast is also live on our page, party page. You notice that we again took a position late in the night yesterday, calling for the police to move, to act swiftly, and just barely 48 hours for the police to take this kind of action. I think it deserves commendation without taking anything from our colleagues in government as well as the police. I think it deserves a lot of commendation. For those of you who are saying, why are we taking this hardline stance? It's very simple, fellow countrymen and women. For 2 reasons. Number 1 or 3. Number 1 is that the homosexuality or LGBTQ is against the laws of Zambia. We need to make that very clear. Whether it is acceptable in America, whether it is acceptable in the United Kingdom, in Great Britain, whether it is accepted in Canada, whether it is accepted in Germany, in Zambia, in the supreme law of the land, which is the Republican Constitution, which opens with a very emphatic statement saying, we the people of Zambia, we, not them, we the people of Zambia give ourselves this constitution. In that constitution, we are very emphatic, and we are saying it's against the law. And again, if there's going to be a chance for us to amend that law, it is not up to America. It is not up to Germany or Britain or Finland or Sweden. It is up to the Zambian people to change the law. And that law was tested as recent as 2015 or 2016 in the constitutional amendment bill that was tabled before Parliament. Again, the people of Zambia pronounced themselves over that matter and says, no, never. That should not happen in Zambia. As much as we respect the right of America to determine how their society functions, they should not impose their beliefs on us. And I want to repeat this, and I've said it before, and I want to say it once again. A nation that cannot define itself, its values, its principles, then it is not fit to exist. Zambia is a sovereign nation, and our cooperating partners will do well to stay away from this subject. We are reliably informed that monies have been injected into this country to sponsor this agenda. Hence our call that we made yesterday. This fight is not going to be wished away. Mamayona batata. Mwebale umfo kufuma kumufrila, mwebale umfo kufuma kuchinsali, mwebale umfo kufuma kumansa, mwebale umfo kufuma from Mazabuka and Livingstone throughout the country. The fight against LGBTQ is not going to be wished away. I think where it has reached, it's imperative that we fight it both physically as well as spiritually. Physically, using the instruments that we have in our country, such as the laws against this vice. Spiritually, every believer who professes that they know the Word of God and they believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, they must be able to stand up and pray against this assault from the pit of hell on this nation called Zambia. And in commending the police for the swift action, without taking anything away from them, as we fight physically this battle, I think it is only proper that the registration license of Sistah Sistah Foundation Zambia should be revoked. It should be deregistered. I want to make this very clear. The registration license of Sistah Sistah Zambia should be deregistered, should be revoked, so that we send a strong message that any person, any individual, any organization that is promoting this agenda in a blanket or in a veiled way must face the law squarely. And I want to repeat that. Any organization that wants to take up this agenda, the promotion of LGBTQ in our land, must be prepared to face the law and face the consequences thereof and on undertaking this agenda. We have got information, for example, colleagues, that we have got institutions here in Zambia, such as Restless Development, that are also participating in this agenda. The Zambia police, as they've rightfully said in their statement issued by the deputy police spokesperson, they must investigate that. We've got information, as common citizens as we are, we can have information that institutions such as Restless Development are also promoting this agenda in a veiled way. Then definitely they must be investigated. And we know that the Zambia police, using their apparatus of intelligence, they know the institutions that are involved in this. And I want to say this. There has been a lot of uproar against the government. It is not that the people hate their own government, the New Dawn administration. It's because the words of the government and also their actions seems not to be moving in tandem with the people. So if we see the actions that have been undertaken now, where people have been arrested, then definitely the people are going to applaud. And this is commendable, and I wish my colleagues in government that this issue should not die a natural death, where people are arrested, because we have got that habit in this country. I think you'll agree with me, fellow countrymen and women. We over-publicize things, and then after 1 or 2 months, then he dies a natural death. There are many cases in this country where such things have happened. So to the police command and to the government, this matter of promotion of the LGBTQ agenda should not die a natural death. It should not die at giving those ringleaders a bond and then you forget about it. Updates must be given because this issue, it is at the core of our identity. It is enshrined in the Constitution. For some of you, if you don't know, that when the Constitution tasks the president that he must appear before Parliament to give an address on the values and national values and principles, this is what exactly the framers of the Constitution envisaged, that the president should go and give progress. And already we know that the president has already given the position of the UPND and also of the government that they will not support this. I think it's only proper that the law is implemented to the latter. We cannot have undesirables parading themselves on social media. We had those young ladies who carried children along. In fact, to the charge, I'm also proposing that the police should also add insulting language in public, being a public nuisance. Why should we have young ladies? Why should we have young men who even tagged along children, as young as 10, saying those things, such kind of words that I cannot repeat here, publicly, and chanting? And clearly, if you look at these organizations, if you go to the page of Sistah Sistah Zambia, they're even engaging in sensitizing programs to young people, to children, so that they can prepare the next generation for this LGBTQ agenda. This is unacceptable in the country which calls itself a Christian nation. And I know that Zambia has got a lot of work to do to reflect itself in character as a Christian nation, but we cannot accept this kind of agenda. And I want to call upon the Zambian people to resist this agenda once and for all. Allow me to make further comments, another comment on another trending issue, which is the Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway. I think we need to be very clear what the Zambian people are frowning upon. And I want to specifically commend every Zambian throughout the country who have taken keen interest in this matter. Because this is how it should be in a democracy. Because democracy by definition is ruled by the people and for the people. So it's only proper that every Zambian, regardless of the opinion that they do have, they take a keen interest in what is happening in our own country. And so the debate that is online regarding the Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway is welcome and must be welcomed. And government must be able to listen to all stakeholders, because there is a Bemba saying that says, Amano yafuma muifwesa, yaya muchulu. And nobody has got the monopoly of wisdom. Uleta pawelu, tona ula yo. Ngo alete chintu pawelu, abantu balanda mamano, mulichile chintu le landa po. So when you bring things, the Bible puts it this way, that in the multitude of counselors, the matter is well guided. So the colleagues in government responsible for this project must open their ears, must open their eyes to see reason and logic over this matter. I want to make it very simple for a layman who do not understand, for them to understand. What is the current position regarding this project? Is that the Republic of Zambia has entered into an agreement with a concessionaire for 25 years. that they are going to construct the road in 3 years. So meaning if the road starts here, 3 years from now, they construct the entire road and it is finished. And then after 3 years, for 22 years, we have got a company, a foreign company, that will be taking money from the toll gates. But in that 3 years, they'll also construct 2 extra toll gates. And also the Minister of Finance, if you remember, Dr. Stumbe Komsekotwane, also alluded to the fact that the toll fees will be able to be raised. In other words, vakalunda. Inamuledi pila pama toll gates vakalundi lako. So that for 22 years, for 22 years, there will be a sharing mechanism between a foreign contractor as well as the government. The other aspect of this dual carriageway is that the money is not going to come from outside Zambia. That money, these companies, they will go, the contractor will be paid by our very own NAPSA and workers' compensation together with Stanbic Bank of Zambia. These are the sides of this current contract. Now, what has brought this uproar where people are talking about it? Chakwebati, there is no way the foreign company can get money within Zambia from an institution that is owned by government, which is government by extension, go and does the Lusaka-Ndola road, and then gets to be paid for another 22 years. That is what the people of Zambia are refusing, that it is not proper. That such kind of an arrangement would have been more ideal if the contractor, or indeed the company that signed the contract, was bringing money from outside the country. In other words, they are bringing dollars inside the country. When they bring dollars to the tune of 500 or 600, almost $600 million, then we can be able to say we'll pay them back. Now, the question that most people of Zambia are talking about, that it is not necessary. If money is coming from within Zambia, why should you hire a foreign company, which we are going to pay for another 22 years? And this is the position that we have taken as Golden Party of Zambia, that then it is only right that a country which is almost turning 60 years of age, it is only right that we ourselves can build. Since the money is already with us, then NAPSA can create a special purpose vehicle, SPV, which I'm told they already have. The one they use to build the shopping malls that we are seeing around the country. And then they can be able to use that and build the roads, so that even if the people are paying the toll fees, the increased toll fees, maybe a small car, which is now at 20 kwacha, maybe it goes to 50 kwacha, we are paying to our own NAPSA. We eliminate the aspect of a foreign company in this equation. Because the problem that we have in our country, fellow countrymen and women, is that we seem as if Zambia, we are now clustered, we are now addicted, we are now attracted to bad deals. We had a terrible deal with Vendetta. Vendetta, up to a time that the mine was wrestled from them by the previous government, they never declared a dividend, and yet the owner was boasting that that entity was giving him more than 500 million United States dollars per annum, of which I believe him, because I happened to be there also when Vendetta was running KCM, because the mine was profitable. Some of you who may not even know, copper is bought before you even enter. The copper for 2024, for example, will be bought in December 2022 when they open up the contracts. So it's not like you produce, that's when you begin to look for market and say, where is the copper? And we now say we've got copper. No, it's already people be sending beads